Hi, hey, hello, how's it going? It's Emily. And today I wanted to do a quick quarter one check-in and just talk about some of my favorites from the first 3 months of the year. So let's just dive right in, shall we? I first want to talk about The Scholar and the Last Fairy Door. This is by H.G. Perry. And in this one, we're following our main character who is trying to save her brother. Her brother has been cursed by this fairy magic, and so she goes to this academy to study fairy magic. And there are a lot of politics going on here. The people at this academy don't really want anyone talking about this accident with fey magic that happened. And so it's really hard for her to learn about what happened. So she's trying her best to get information, making some friends and found family along the way. It's about their relationship. It's about her finding this information and getting deeper into the politics of the fairy world and learning more about what's going on. It takes place over a decent amount of time, and I really love the found family here and the complicated connection between all of these characters, our main character's devotion to finding a cure for this magical curse from the fairy, and kind of what's going on between the two worlds, and how she's trying to work to resolve that. It was just so good. I also want to talk about the Heated Rivalry series or the Game Changer series. Game Changer is actually the first one, but this entire series is just so much fun. I really loved all the characters in this series. Very different vibes. Most of them are pretty spicy. Some of them are a bit less spicy depending on the character dynamics, but super fun. I just was really endeared to all of the characters. I loved the spice. I actually enjoyed reading about hockey and was inspired to watch some hockey at the Olympics. And anyway, maybe I'll watch more hockey in the future. Who knows? Go sports, go. And I next want to talk about Go Luck Yourself by Sarah Rosh. I absolutely adored The Nightmare Before Christmas, which is the first book in this series. So we're following the brother of the main character in the first book, or the main Christmas representative in the first book. So in this world, each of the holidays has kind of a royal court behind it that manages that holiday, and there's magic involved. And so we're following Chris here on the top right, and Christmas's magic is being drained. And so he goes to meet Lachlan. They actually go to school together and are kind of not getting off on a great foot at school. But he realizes that the person he's not getting along with is the Prince of St. Patrick's Day. And so Chris needs to go to Ireland or around St. Patrick's Day to figure out if St. Patrick's Day is the one that's actually stealing Christmas's magic. And it's about them falling in love. It's so cute. I just love the idea of holidays having a royal court. I just think it's so fun, and I hope that there are more books to come in this series, because honestly I feel like the potential for this series to talk about other holidays is just, I love the friend group in this story too. So the characters from the first two books do appear in here, and I just love the friend group and dynamic between everyone. I also absolutely loved Warrior Princess Assassin. This is by Bridget Kemmerer, and we follow a warrior, a princess, and an assassin, shockingly. And the princess is set to marry the warrior character for political reasons, and so we kind of get into the politics of that towards the beginning. And the assassin is actually a friend of hers, has been a friend since childhood, and he is kind of off on his own doing tasks, like getting assigned tasks or getting paid to do these tasks through this guild of sorts. And so he takes on this next task, and he doesn't know what it is until he agrees to do it and kind of gets the information. Turns out the task that he has accepted doing is to kill the princess and the warrior. And so he goes back and of course doesn't want to kill the princess. He's fine killing the warrior. He doesn't particularly know or care about him, but he does want to save his friend and figure out how to do that. But she wants to, for the sake of this political marriage, like, she wants the warrior character to be alive. And so they kind of get embroiled in a bunch of politics between these different kingdoms. And of course the guild is going after our assassin character because they need to make sure that they know that he actually successfully completed his task, or other assassin or other, people who work for this guild are going to come after him. Anyway, so there's a lot going on. Super fun. It's a slow burn, kind of slow build up to potential polyamory. And I actually really enjoyed the romantic dynamics in this one. Just a ton of fun. And speaking of a ton of fun, I have To Cage a Wild Bird by Brooke Fast. I read this so quickly. I'm absolutely loving dystopian romance, and that's exactly what this is. And we're following a main character who, in this world, people get sent to prison for very little reason. People are just sent to prison left, right, center. And so our main character's brother is actually in prison. She's not quite sure why, but he's in prison. And so she gets herself arrested so that she can go to this prison and try to hatch an escape plan to get him out. And in this world, the rich get to pay to hunt and kill prisoners. So it's just very engaging, and her trying to hatch this plan, her trying to survive these times where prisoners can be selected to go on this hunting field and be hunted down by people paying to kill her. Anyway, it was just super entertaining. I was engaged from page one, had a grand time. So if that sounds like a fun vibe, then would recommend. I also loved We Who Will Die by Stasia Stark, and this one also involves a character trying to save her brother. Are we sensing a theme here? And so her brother is sick and has this kind of sickness in his lungs, and so she has this tonic that can kind of help manage the symptoms, but she really would like a cure for him. Vampire approaches her and kind of forces her into a situation where she accepts going into this kind of Roman-esque style of trials, and the ultimate goal of winning this trial is to be part of the emperor's kind of inside guards, or group of guards that are close to him, and then her task is to kill the emperor. And again, very entertaining. Love the romantic dynamics in here, and I don't know, again, just very entertaining. I love a set of trials in a book. That's always something that draws me to a book. Completely different style of story or change of pace here. We've got The Wishing Game by Meg Schaefer. I absolutely adored this one and wasn't expecting to get as emotionally connected to the characters as I was. So we're following our main character who would like to adopt this little boy, but she is a public school teacher, not paid well. Can we please pay teachers more? Whatever. Anyway, that's an aside. But she can't really afford to adopt this boy or kind of give him the life that she would like to, but also that the foster system would demand that she be able to give him. Like, she doesn't live on her own. She doesn't, again, financially have the resources to really take care of him. And so enter her getting invited into a competition. Now, this is a different type of competition. There's a children's fiction writer who has written this super popular series back in the day, but hasn't written for a long time. He is writing a new manuscript, and so he is going to have a competition and inviting a select number of people who have interacted with him in various ways in the past, including our main character. So we kind of delve into her past, why she's interacted with this author before, what that series meant to her as a kid. But she wants to win this competition so that she can ultimately get this manuscript and sell it to the publisher. That is an option. So the publisher is kind of there helping manage the competition. And if nobody wins or collects enough points to win, then the book just goes to the publisher, or the winner can select to give the book to the publisher for a certain amount of money. And so she would like to get this certain amount of money so that she can afford to adopt this little boy and give him the life that, she would like for him. And the relationship between her and this boy is so cute, so precious. So she's kind of passed down her love for this series to this boy. So she would also like to just straight up be able to read him this manuscript and then be able to sell it, because that would just be something really special that she could share with him. Anyway, so I was invested in this competition. I'm invested in all of these characters who are there trying to compete for this manuscript. They all have their own reasons for being there and for wanting the manuscript, and going through these different challenges, and again, very different type of competition or set of challenges, but I was emotionally invested in this one and just really ended up enjoying it. So those are some of my favorites from the first quarter. I would absolutely love to hear what some of your favorites were for the first quarter. Please do let me know what you recommend based on your favorites from the first quarter, or if you posted a video on it, please do link it. I would absolutely love to watch. And be sure to subscribe for more bookish content. I will link my Etsy store down below. I still just have a few things up there, but again, hopefully soon we'll have more going on there. But do check out what I have there, and my Pango store as well. I've got a lot of great used stuff on Pango, and I, of course, will have my Instagram link down below as well, and I will also leave more information about how you can support the Black Lives Matter movement, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.